Okay. So you give now birth, and you still, do you have a form of income, or how do you?
I'm still, I give birth and I'm still alone. But then it's like, now I take it like maternity leave, so I'm not stressed. But now I'm not cooking anymore. My parents are helping me, at least as far as rent and a few things are concerned. We've reconciled, so it's good. Just a few months after I gave birth, like I say, she melted everybody's heart, so we were good again. So they were helping me, but just 3 months later, 3 months later, I got a job. First of all, I was called back to my former employee. They needed someone to hold on. Someone was on maternity. So I went and held like for 2 months. Then I got a job at my current job at ICSC. And even when I was going for the interviews, I was still at my old company. So it was a good transition. So I got a job exactly when my daughter was like 6 months at ICSC. And I'm there until now. Yeah.
And interesting, all the training you had at Hilton is what you use?
It's what's taking me now. And my passion for the work. My appraisals were excellent. I honestly loved I still love what I'm doing. And this is what got me. But we got proper certificates and everything. Then I continued to do a lot more internal trainings. And we did customer service trainings, even both in NK and even ICRC. But ICRC had many more other trainings, both internal and external.
But also what I'm getting from that story is like your dedication to the work and your passion to it is the key, whichever work.
For me,
that
this
you're
is
doing.
it. I don't have a university degree. I'm not saying people should not get a university degree, but
there are many people who don't have a university degree and holding that and saying we can't work or can't do anything.
No. If the passion, the love for the job, for me, that was it. That's what pushed me. In fact, last year I did something that would be close to a university degree. I almost pulled out my hair. I was like, wait, this is hard. It is better to go to university when you are young. And that's the closest I did. And I'm so proud of it. But for me, I think if you experience and dedication to work and passion, and if you really work hard, really work hard. For me, I think that's what made me move up. And even leaving Hilton, if it was not for that incident, I was told many times after that I was really missed because of the way I was handling the groups. And even NK, it's because of what they had to do, because they retrenched over 100 of us. It was not Debra alone. We were many, and we were in 3 phases. I was in the 3rd phase. So many had gone before me. And where I am, it's been up the ladder, and until where I am, I think it's because of the passion.
And also, I'm learning that some of the things you picked when you were very young from your auntie, they're really helpful till now in whatever you're doing.
Exactly. I really admired the way she was talking, even on phone. By the way, during holidays, she would allow us to go with her to school, to work at the UN. And I would see how she was talking to people. She was, at the time, a secretary, but big, because she had like big bosses. And I would see how she was. I would even try to imitate the way she's talking. Even my mom was like a secretary, and she was dealing also with a lot of people. And I would also see how they were handling people. So I think that one I got from both of them.
So whichever experiences we're going through, they might be useful at a future
Exactly.
date.
Some of them mold you if you take them positively. But if starting be jealous at my young age, they're in a better school, I'm not, and this maybe I will not be. I'll grow up a very bitter person.
And so how has it been being a mother?
Like I said, when she came, she melted everybody, especially me. I love her. I love her. She's an amazing young woman now. She turned out to be everything I was not, like very intelligent, She was the best in her sciences. She's very hardworking. She's not shy. She looks shy, but she's not shy. She can speak her mind, even to me. There are times nimesomewa, I don't like the way you do this. Me, I cannot tell my mom up to now those things. We have become friends, more friends than mother and daughter. We share a lot. We pray together. We were baptized together. I think we gave our life to Christ almost at the same time. I don't know if I can mention that. Again, my behavior around her is what moved. You see, if I continued with my craziness, probably we'll all be crazy up to now. Maybe she would have joined me. But when I gave my life to Christ, I think the way you change, the way you do things now.
What led to that? Maybe we can go into that story of how did you end up moving from the madness to giving your life to Christ?
The madness got really mad.
Even after giving birth?
Yeah, it was still there. I did things that were a bit crazy, even for someone who is a mother. I was drinking a lot. I was smoking a lot. I was out there a lot. But then one day, I went through a very bad experience, and I really went down. I really, but it was more based on relationship, and it really hurt me, like really brought me down. And I remember one day I was just crying, and I remember a friend of mine gave me a certain book, you know, the one you read, and it was just talking about God, how he loves you and everything. And that's what, alone on one night in my weeping, I just read those words to God, and I said, I need you to save me. And that's what happened. And the next day I woke up, I was like, all this stops, and I've never turned back. And some of the things I did, I know Aretha didn't like my smoking and everything. She completely didn't like it, and I could see she was very happy all that stopped. And
why do you think you were at that phase? Or I know many people on that phase now where they're struggling with the alcohol, the smoking. If you look back, what do you think led you to that state?
Led me to drink or to stop?
To drink, to be drink. In that environment.
In that, I think it's one, peer pressure, just hanging out, maybe with, I don't want to say the wrong crowd, but it's just peer pressure, because the people are not particularly bad, but you need to know when you're doing something wrong. It's bad company sometimes, bad decisions, lack of guidance. I never had a mentor, you know, who can tell me, no, don't do this, it's not good for you. I mean, when I say a mentor, someone who's not your parent or anything, because sometimes we need that kind of person. Because I feel it gets to a point you overpower your parents. They can't even talk to you anymore. So I needed someone external to mentor me. I didn't have anyone like that for a long time. And so when I gave my life to Christ, that's the time I met. I realized my sister had way long given her life to Christ. But by the way, and I was coming to church every Sunday. He had Bapo, but I come to church because we need to come to church, and that's it. But my sister was very involved, and I really admired her for that. So when I called her and I told her this is it, she was very excited. My late sister Violet. So the first person I interacted with in church was actually Pastor Irene. And for me, I think that was the person now who was my mentor and who really walked the journey with me. And Aretha, and also Terry. Terry, we met with her at the Hilton. With all my madness, she tried to stop me. Would I listen? No. So when we later met, we've been friends through, but sometimes you don't see each other for a while, then you meet. Then we met here at Baptist, just about the same time. That's why I say God works in miracles, where he sends people to you. We met around that time. and we are together until now. So those are the women I've worked with, and along the way we've picked many others. Now let me say I'm in a safe space. Yeah, I have a lot of people who tell me, no, that's not right, or yeah.
So the community around you influence your actions, or
exactly
what you do.
Exactly, and what I do. And I've not left them, and I've gotten more and more, and now I get the urge also to do the same to other people. Yeah.
So both of you and your daughter got baptized together. How was that experience?
That's nice, because now it was interesting, and she started to get involved in church. I never took my daughter to Sunday school. Even when we came to church, we were in the main service. So that's the time even my late sister Violet insisted that she does ropes. And she got into ropes, though she was the oldest, because you know, I remember even Pastor Majid came and said no, she can still join, because I was telling them she's a bit old and everything. But she joined, and luckily I think she was not the only one at that age. There was another boy and I think one more girl. And I think that was also a life changer for her. When she did ropes, she learned how to fast, she learned how to pray and everything. So from that day, we pray every day together. Whether we are in different countries, it doesn't matter where we are. We pray together every day, up to now.
I think that's an amazing relationship you have with your daughter. I think I've said that many times. But how do you balance the friendship and the parenting?
And the parenting, yeah, that one, there's a time I have to be a friend, and there's a time I have to be a parent. And maybe the parent part is never fun, but yes, I've had to do it many times. I think our relationship is unique. I think I give glory to God, because I don't think it's me that, you know, I'm the one who did. I think it's just the grace of God and everything. And I feel I want to make up for the time I feel I was not so close to her. There are days I wake up and I'm like, there's a time I felt I was always out and everything. I was not so close. So now I don't want to lose any minute. So that's why I keep her close. And I want to keep her close even for the future. So we are not, I don't want to have that where mother-daughter, we are not talking or anything. So it's good when I also tell her about me, and she also tells me about her. I don't hide things from her. I tell her everything. And she also tells me everything. So when I need to be a mom, then I become a mother. I say, no, I don't think this is right. You need to do this. Don't do this and don't do that. When she has told me things that were very confidential, I've had to be a friend. Because if I become a mother now, again, we break up. So there's a way to balance each situation. You see, am I going to be a friend or am I going to be a mother? And so we've kept it together that way.
So these skills of balancing, because I know most parents are struggling with that and trying to balance being a friend, being a parent, and also having a relationship with their children. So what maybe advice would you give for somebody who's struggling with that?
Maybe also what contributed to this, like I told you, we became very good friends with my mom later. That's when I could openly talk to her. So along the way, I used to say, I don't want that gap. I don't want to become friends with her later. So I started it at
so being intentional about it.
I was actually very intentional about it. So I worked hard at it. I'm not saying it's easy, because even like I said, when I'm a mother, she also tells me no, and I don't agree with you. So it's not that she will also agree with everything I say, but at least we have that relationship where we can meet in the middle. So I would say, listen to them. Maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember, we had a mother-daughter breakfast with groups, mother-daughters, and we gave the same advice. We need to listen to each other. My generation, we've come from an environment, it's only the parents who talk and you listen, but this generation, you have to listen. So yes, you are the mom, yes, you need to be tough, but yes, you need to listen also and see where they're coming from, because the way we understood things is not the same way now. There's so much that has changed, so we need to be.
And maybe for children, what advice would you give them about how they can relate to their parents? Maybe what you have learned from your daughter. What has helped you relate with your daughter in the way she's acting?
the way she is at. How would I advise children? Parents, moms also, parents go through tough times. You also need to meet them halfway. So closing off and not opening, like most parents' biggest fear is to find out something later. And why? Because you think if you tell her, she's going to get upset. So you hold it or you tell someone else, which the other person might not be good company. So for me, I feel just talk to them. Like I said, of course we'll get upset, but I'd rather that short upset than when the thing has blown out of proportion. So it's also important for the children or the young ones to cut the parents some slack. Just also talk to them. At least even if it goes by, say, I told you, but you didn't listen to me. But when you totally don't say it, you end up seeking the wrong company who now wrongly advise you. And I was a big culprit of that. And then you end up making big mistakes. Whereas your parent would have totally understood you. And by the way, the things that the young people are going through, we also went through. So by the time you're saying it, that's what I'm saying, you get upset, but then you know how to handle it. Now she will, when everything is calm, she'll say, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Yeah.
Okay. And so you became a new believer pretty when you were a little bit older.
Yeah.
So how was that experience of getting saved when you're older? And what changes do you have to do? What changes did you experience?
I had a lot of regrets. I wished I had done it earlier. It's a tough journey, but it's a good feeling. At least I know what I'm working up to. I feel I wasted a lot of years just doing nonsense instead of... I honestly sometimes wonder where I would be now if I had given my life to Christ long time ago. Remember, I was in a school even where there was CU, and I would pass that class and wonder, honestly, what are these guys doing? Now I'm trying to imagine if I was part of that. Maybe my journey with God would be so different. Maybe it would have extended to my family. But you see, even my mom gave her life to Christ much later. Maybe my sisters and I had an impact on that because we started going to church way before her. And I feel that, okay, another thing I'm always saying is that God's timing is always the best. Maybe that was the time. So I did all that. It's done. It's finished. I'm at a good space. And like someone who maybe, there's also those who give their life to Christ at a young age, then later they give up and they become worse. But for me now, there's no turning back. Where I am now and where I was before, they're totally, it's black and white. And I'm happy where I am and where I'm going.
Is there an understanding you had of, like you say, the CU people when you walked past them, that changed once you now learned or went deeper into the faith? Was that maybe a perception you had?
For me, before it was, let me not lie to you. For me, people who went to see you at work, they never sort of looked happy. I don't know why. They were always sad. They were always crying. And I used to wonder, surely, what kind of life is this? And maybe I didn't understand it then. Because also, and also the judging, you know, I always felt judged by them. You know, so it's like you are a bad person, Nini. So I was always avoiding them because that's not the life. Like I remember one day I was going to work I was going home from work, and I was stopped by this guy on the road and was asking me, do you know Christ? And I said, I am a Christian, and I walked off. 3 weeks ago, we went for evangelism and we were stopping people the same way, and I got the same answer, and I was like, all that came back to me, and I'm like, you see, I didn't understand then, because I was like, why is he stopping me on the road? I'm tired, I need to get home. What could he possibly tell me? Remember, I'm reading the Daily Bread, so I'm already a Christian, right? Yeah, so it was, I have a lot of regrets about that, but yeah, but I'm okay where I am now.
Okay, maybe we can go into now. Once you gave your life to Christ, you mentioned. Maybe before we go to that, as a single mother, how is it raising, or what are some of the challenges?
It's a bit.
Or do you consider yourself a single mother?
So it's, I don't even know what to call it, but I'm with her alone, and we've walked this journey together alone. But she does have her father. They have their own relationship, but we are more together alone. So I'm more involved in what she's doing. I am more attached to what she's doing. I want to know every day what's going on in her life. And it can get very tough. I know there are days she wished it was a proper home like other people, but it was not. But I think we've passed that hurdle, and I hopefully think she understands that. And but I think now we are okay. She's older now. She understands that sometimes things don't work out the way they should. But it can be tough. It can be tough because there are days like now when you have to be a mother, there are days you wish there was also that man to support you in certain decisions. But it sort of toughens you. Now you're able to handle both in each way.
And maybe to encourage single mothers who are going through, because I know now there are many who are in the same situation. How would you encourage them, or maybe give a word to them?
I think there's a big reward at the end. Just continue being with your child. Like I said, there are days you wish you were two instead of one, and if it doesn't, I would just encourage them to go on and just support their children in every sense of way, and also sometimes if you need another person, not only mothers but single parents, it could be both men and women. There's always someone you can get to support. If you want that other person's, you can get someone, an uncle, an auntie, a good friend to step in. And there are times I've had to do that, when you ask a friend or a sister to step in.
So just get from the community that you're in.
Actually, it's a community thing, yeah. It's a community thing. Aretha is a community baby. There's so many people involved in her life that we've had to bring in for different things, yeah.
Okay.